to another episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's up?
Derek, I'm excited. I got here a little early, did some dishes,
Obviously.
but that's fine. And then I also enjoyed another cinnamon bun, because what else do you eat other than sweets when you're at our friend's establishment? So we'll reintroduce you, and then we'll dive into our round two.
All right. I am Stephanie Haak, owner of Haak's Cakes, and welcome.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, sorry. Welcome back.
So what's new here? What do we got going on? You got lights, you got streamers. Did you have this wall painted before?
The wall was painted.
The wall was?
I think I don't remember if the lights were here. The sign behind you is new. That was after our 1 year. I don't really know. I'm trying to look around here if anything else was new. I don't think so. We keep it pretty casual here. We keep it pretty the same.
Are the lights for the holiday times, or did you have them up all the time?
Yeah, we keep them up all the time just because, like, when we're actually open, the fluorescents are off, so it's a nice vibe in here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Always vibing.
I like that.
Always vibing.
Always vibing. So since we sat down and talked to you, you've been featured on multiple news outlets between city and local.
Yeah.
So you, behind the scenes, have also done a lot of work for us in regards to business recommendations. So I think it's only respectable and right and polite for us to say thank you.
Yeah, you're killing it on those monthly posts that we stopped doing because no time. But for a while, you were like all over.
I love recommending businesses. And I was like, you guys are the best, so let's keep it rolling.
Thank you.
So what type of publicity did you get from the local and city news spots?
Some did like news articles, like papers, and some did like TV like shots, and it was good. It just helped bring in a lot of new faces, and like after each one, or like if like for around holidays, I know the news article, I think it was The Sun or something, they did the one and it like prepped for one of the holidays coming up, so that helped get a lot of people in the door for that. But it was just nice. It just like increases the amount of people that came in and found us. But honestly, we still have people walk around and they're like, oh, we found you for the first time. We've been looking for you. So it's nice because there's still people who don't know where we are. So it's fun.
Yeah. Is it a noticeable increase?
Honestly, for like after each like article, are you saying?
Yeah.
You can definitely tell because like you get all these phone calls or messages like out of the blue and you're like, oh, something must have just been posted because everyone just comes and asks the questions of like when they first find us.
Yeah. So when you're featured, what type of content are you like trying to push something, or like is it more of a selling point, or like what type of interview or
honestly
covering was it?
It was just more like this is her and like this is the place. It never was to like push really anything. It was more just to generalize like this was her story when she first started, this is what she's up to now, and like we just do a bunch of, it's always like cake based, but it just fills in like let them know we have stuff to walk in to get day to day, and then just our normal like pre-order stuff.
Sure.
So news is great. Like publicity, what we're doing here is great, but from your end, when all the lights are off and then you're just standing here and you have a mountain of orders, how did you handle that increase of workflow? Because it's a blessing but a curse as well, because then you realize I'm already working 14-hour days.
Oh yeah.
I already have friends and family helping out. So what was that process?
Basically, I actually have a few employees now, which is like, that's different from when we first met. It was just me, and like my mom and dad volunteered with me when they could after work. And now I have like family, and I do have one non-family member, but she's like family that works for me. So that definitely helped. But for a period when I still could not have employees yet, it was mostly just me and then like my volunteered parents and stuff. So it honestly was just still working more. It wasn't really much easier to handle. I definitely organized it a lot better where I could like break it down into days easier versus just like being slammed and just like constantly working. So I definitely figured out a better routine for myself, I'd say.
So what's your quality of life like now in regards to work hours and kind of a work-life balance?
Definitely better and more regimented than when I first started. I leave a lot more like, okay, these are my hours, and I don't really work as much from home, like, because when I leave here and then go home and like message everyone and like all through the night, even if it was like late and anything like that. But now I'm like, okay, once I leave here, put the phone away for work and then just answer it the next day. And that's definitely helped me a lot, like mentally. So I'd say that's a good change that I did.
Absolutely.
So what type of organizational stuff did you implement here?
It was more just on my end because I get very like stressed and like anxious when I like have a lot of stuff to do, and like I am the type of person that'll like push it to the last minute because that's when I can bust out the most stuff. So I've been working with myself throughout the past like year to be like, all right, set yourself a schedule. So I write lists like every day for myself of what I need to do to keep myself ahead of schedule so that I'm like, it's more just all myself, like work on myself.
Well, being a perishable business has that challenge that you can't like prep or do things like earlier. Like for our stuff, we can record 4 episodes a day and like schedule to go live in a month. You can't do that with a cake, or else obviously it's not going to be a cake anymore.
Yeah, that's why it's definitely, and that's another reason like here it's definitely more stressful for me because I've been other places, and other places usually like can pre-bake and they'll like freeze and then they'll pull it out later, which is totally normal because it does keep it fresh. But I just don't have like the room here because it's super tiny and I just don't like freezing. So I'm always the person, I bake like day of, like morning of, and then decorate and everything before the order comes. So that's like a very high stress thing. If I were to do the other way, it would definitely be a lot more like feasible for me. But I forgot what you asked in the first.
No, you're good.
Okay,
just about
sorry,
the
my brain just
timelines and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
This might be a loaded question, but are you outgrowing the space?
I've been asked this for like basically like 3 months after I opened. People were asking me this. It's hard because I like this space and like it's very like low overhead. I can bump out a lot of stuff in here and like still keep everything like low costing for myself, which is nice. I definitely would like to down the road be a little bigger, I guess, just to like have space for people to like sit and like enjoy more in here. But at the moment I still really like this. I don't think I'd ever want to get rid of this place. I'd rather like expand off of it, or just always keep this and move somewhere else, I guess, like 2 locations if that were a thing.
Keep this like a boutique.
Yeah, I just like, I think it's so cute and it's just like very fitting for me and like my vibe. It's just tiny.
Yeah, and it's a great location.
Yeah, it's super nice because you get, and I love the village life, and like you get all the village families, like you're part of all the parades and stuff. It's just super nice. I love it here.
So from a content standpoint of you creating new things, have you created anything new that maybe we didn't have before? Last time we were here, the big craze was the cinnamon bun.
Oh yeah,
Is
cinnamon
there a
buns
new
are still
bestseller?
crazy.
Yeah.
I would say, so I was talking before, I don't know if you guys had it, but the fruit pizza, that's definitely big. Fruit and dessert pizza we do, and those are still our number 1 sellers, are cinnamon buns, the fruit pizza, and then we did do whoopie pies for a bit. I forget about them sometimes, but those are pretty popular. But the fruit pizza is a sugar cookie crust, and then it's a cream cheese whipped cream icing, berries on top, and like some white chips, and we slice it into like 12 slices, so it's like a pizza. But then like dessert pizzas and everything, we can do like different base flavors and different toppings. So we've done like candy ones, pumpkin, a bunch of stuff like that.
Did the fruit pizza come from a request, or did you just want to create it because you thought that it was cool?
So this actually happened 4th of July. My grandma always makes it for our family parties, and the one year I was like running out of stuff to make, I was like, I don't know what to fill the case with. I was like, fruit pizza. So we made like a sheet tray of it, and like they all sold right away, and it was like, okay, good feedback. So we just kept making them, but put them in the case every day, and they just like, at one point I think we were going through like 8 a week, like 8 whole like things.
Wow.
Whatever.
Yeah, 8 whole pieces a week?
Thank you, yeah.
How
8
long do they
pies.
take to make? Probably not much, right?
No, not much. If you can, the crust is like the longest just because it's baking, and then it's just the icing and stuff in the, you just have to whip the cream, put the cream cheese in, and then just top it however you want.
So when you create these new things, do you feel like you have to continue creating things?
Yeah, it's definitely where I've been lately mentally, like struggling, like it's hard because like there's only so much different desserts you can make, and like I don't really specialize in like pastries and like laminated doughs. Like I can do them, but that's just not what I want to be giving out here. So that's why I refer a ton of different businesses for all the things I don't do. So it's definitely hard to like create stuff that I still have fun making, that's like still my style and stuff. I definitely get in funks where I'm like, I just can't think of a new flavor cookie or a new twist on one of the things I already do, and it definitely gets me like in a weird headspace. But eventually something like my friend will say something or I'll see something and it'll just like pop out and then it's good.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept because you would probably be in the situation that you're in where you feel like I'm getting stagnant and I need to do something different. But when you take a step back, you know that all of your staples sell like crazy, so there's no need for you to really do that.
Yeah.
But you just feel the need to because you're anxious or whatever. I mean, we do, again, the exact same thing.
We do. And luckily, we do. However, there's like the industry backing us where we can always just rely on more booze to do things.
Right.
To help us. How does that work with you? Like if you wanted to incorporate alcohol into anything you bake, are there like laws in that? Or because you're basically then selling it, right?
Yeah, so you can bake it off and legally sell it. If I wanted to like put it in a topper or if people want it on cakes or stuff, they have to either purchase it themselves and then drop it off for us to add on, or they can add it on because we can't sell it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And also like if we wanted to like put it in a frosting, you can't do that because it's not baked off and it's technically alcohol, even if it's like this much of it. Like,
have you had that happen before?
no, because I knew that, so I just have to be like, okay, if you want this flavor, we can put it into the cake and then it's baked off, or I can like give you, we have like these little pipettes we can give, and I'll just say if I just did a cupcake I think like a few months ago and it was like bourbon and I can't remember, it might have been banana pudding. I don't know if that sounds like a good mix to you. I'm not a bourbon person, but it was something like that, and so we provide the pipettes, so basically they took it home and then had their own alcohol. And you just squeeze it into like a bowl full of it, and then you pop it in the cupcake so you can like dispense it in there before they eat it.
Oh, that's cool.
So as like a filler.
Exactly.
Almost like a donut. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if it's, when you say bake off inside of a cake, if you have sponge and then
I knew that word was going to come out today at some point.
Yeah, it has to. We're talking about cake.
I love when he says it.
What do you want, man? We're talking about cake. You're like, I didn't say the P word yet.
The P word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What is that?
Prove it.
Oh, prove it. Yeah, true.
So if you have your layer of sponge and you're baking it off, in this case, does it have to go in the sponge or can it go in the filling?
Nope, it has to go in the sponge. Because in the filling, it's still like the frosting. It's just poured alcohol in there and mixed it in. It's like you're drinking it like in your coffee almost. Like it's not going anywhere.
Nothing wrong with that. But
no, nothing wrong with it for sure. Yeah, okay. But it's tricky because like
interesting.
You technically could, I guess, but if you did and it was like the wrong person or something, then you could get. I think you get a fine because it's alcohol.
Have you had it both ways, like in a filling and then in sponge? Does it lose flavor or anything if it's baked off in sponge? Because it must, right?
It definitely depends on, like, I've done wine ones, I've done, like, whiskey ones, and, like, it gives it a different flavor, but you're not getting, like, the alcohol from it. And I've had it in frostings and stuff, and it's, like, a little bit of a stronger flavor. It's interesting, because sometimes baking it makes the flavor stronger, because it's, like, I don't know, chemistry happening in there. But then sometimes, like, if it's just in the filling, you get the flavor, but it's, like, a different flavor than what the one in the cake is.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like when at home, like when I was younger, like for myself or my friends, when we like all turned 21, we'd make like wine cakes or just like alcohol infused cakes, and I would put in the buttercream there because we were just eating it, and like it's just tastes like alcohol mixed with like sugar.
Which sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Red Bulls when we were growing up in bars, Red Bull vodkas, and then on the can it's like, please don't mix with alcohol. It's like I'm putting as much vodka into this as possible. So, next question. So, in all of that, have people learned not only like what you don't do, but kind of where your borders are, where you're like, hey man, like I've never been that kind of a place, like I'm not doing that kind of a product, or
No, I know exactly, kind of. So some people, like my regulars and like people who like follow my page definitely know, but you still get all the people who are like newer or just like coming because they see like my sign says like cakes and stuff and like baked goods. Mm-hmm. They'll come in and be like, oh, do you have donuts? And I'm like, no. But then I'm like, oh, these people do around the area. Or they'll come in and be like, oh, do you do cut? So like it's all new people that don't really know like what I do just because they're coming in for the first time, which people probably would get annoyed if they were in my position because like it's pretty much every day I get a phone call or a message or something, but I'm also like at the point it's like repetitive. It's just like, okay, this is what it is. Yeah.
There's no point to get annoyed at people that do that.
No.
It's just like, I mean, you don't know.
No, exactly.
How would I expect you to know walking down the street what I do?
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, it's fine. It does not bother me because I rather them come in or like call before they. I always tell people to try to call before they come in because if they're driving from wherever,
Right.
I don't want them to waste a drive and be like, oh, I thought you did this. So usually at this point, I have like a pretty built up list of references for like people if I'm booked with cakes, if they're looking for pies, donuts, pretty much pastries, anything I don't do, I just line them up and like give them 3 or 4 references.
So those things that you don't do is that because you don't have the equipment, or you just don't feel like making it, or you don't like making it? Like, what's the reason why you don't do things?
It's kind of like a mix of all that, I'd say. I definitely have my preferences, like the stuff that I make, I enjoy making, and like I do enjoy making the other things, but not enough that I would want to do them every day. It would start to become like a burden to me, and then I just wouldn't want to work, which would be horrible because it's my livelihood.
Right.
So it's definitely like, I'd say that's the main drive is like, and I'll try stuff if someone comes on like a good day and I'm like, sure, like I have time in my schedule for that. I'll try something out because I've mostly have done everything in school at some point, but it's just more of, this is what I'm comfortable with and what I like to do.
So these fruitcakes, what's the difference between those and like a pie, I guess? Because it's kind of the same, right?
The crust, I guess I would say, the crust is just like a sugar cookie, and then like pies is like the actual like pie crust, so like the butter and the flour layers.
Gotcha. So it's just the ingredients that make it really that much different.
Yep, it's just like a different base. It's almost like so like these
it's like
are
a cookie cake.
Yeah, they're like different than like fruit tarts at like Wegmans. A lot of people come in, oh, like the fruit tarts. So it's like still this very similar, but again, just a different crust on the bottom.
I need to make a cookie cake.
You should do it. They're fun.
Are they?
Yeah.
So if you just have a normal bake pan, say like an 8-inch, then it's just cookie dough inside of it, and then you just bake it for
whatever. Yeah,
X
you just gotta
time.
watch it to make. It's still pretty short time because it's still like a cookie.
Okay.
Doesn't even bake as long as a cake does, but you just have to watch the center so that you don't pull it out. It's like raw, unless you like that raw cookie dough. Not like raw, but like the underbaked cookie dough base.
Love it.
Yeah.
I know.
But I don't know if that'd be good for a cookie cake.
Like, no, not if it was like
Yeah, just sagging.
Like every loaf of banana bread I've ever made.
Yeah.
The middle of it's just like depressed.
No.
Yeah, it's like rise with the rest of it. Like what's going on?
Oh man.
So in regards to equipment for you, has there been industry upgrades where you've seen an oven and you're like, man, that's a nice oven?
Honestly,
Or not really?
No.
Because you already got the best, right?
Yeah, that's right.
How long ago were we here? How long ago has it been?
Honestly, almost exactly a year because you guys came right the day before Thanksgiving last year because I had all the pies out, and then
Did we really?
you came. It's like right after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Wow. Look at us. Very consistent, man.
I know. The stars realigned.
So in a year, how much industry or like new industry stuff comes out?
Like equipment wise, are you saying? I have no clue because I don't even look at that. Once I
Oh, you don't?
no, like I have my stuff as long as it works. That's
Gotcha.
good for me, and thankfully everything's still going good.
I feel like that's going to be an experience whenever, heaven forbid, something does happen in like 30 years, right? And then you're like, hey, I need an oven. And then like a rep comes in and they're like, what is this dinosaur? And you're just like, what are you talking about? It's my oven. And then they're like, this is what we have now. And you're like, that exists? Like,
I know.
Everything is going to blow your brain.
I feel like it's going to be so different, honestly, because like stuff is just built so differently now, even than like 50 years ago. Like stuff back then was built to like last forever, where now it's like built to last a few years and then you have to buy something new.
Well, it's also built to sacrifice quality for consistency, I feel like. So you can have like this crazy touchscreen oven where you're like, white cake, nailed it, and then it's like 12 minutes each time. I don't know how long it takes to cook a white cake, but you're sacrificing like the quality of each individual distinct white cake that might have like 1 ounce more I don't know.
What do you mean by
sponge.
white cake?
I don't know, just a plain white cake. What
What makes a cake white?
Like a vanilla cake, I think.
Yeah, vanilla cake.
Okay, got it. I just didn't know where you were going.
I do call it white cake too, which is
Yeah,
funny.
I
Some
always
people
call it
call
white
it
cake.
vanilla, but I always call it white cake. I don't even remember. It was probably one of my jobs. Oh, sorry. It's probably one of my jobs where they like said like white, yellow, blah blah blah, and then it's just
That's how I
vanilla.
grew up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're sacrificing back to the original point, the quality for consistency. Like that's probably what the next best thing that's going to come out is going to be, is like this crazy.
Oh, like where you're saying you touch it and like just drops the exact
Yeah.
amount in it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like an easy bake oven.
Oh my gosh, I love easy bake ovens.
We all grew up
The
on
little-
it. Yeah, it was a disaster.
Well, yeah.
And then your parents always lied and said, "Oh, it turned out great." And then they like became an Olsen twin and threw it up as soon as you left the room. Yeah, it was terrible.
Exactly.
How do those things even work?
I
They weren't
have
plugged
no
in.
idea.
They were
Do you-
they were plugged in.
Were they?
Yeah, you had to plug it in, I'm pretty sure, and then it heated up and it made like that noise, and then you put the weird lever in, you poured like the packet with the water, and then you like shoved the weird little pan in, and then it went like ding ding ding, and then came out.
Is that how that went?
Yeah.
So if somebody made something out of the Easy Bake Oven today, would you have it?
Yes,
You would?
I
She got
don't know if
super
they
excited.
exist.
Why are you so into this?
I love them. I literally, it was my childhood. I used to have like, you'd open my like, what are those called? The things in your kitchen that rotate.
The Lazy Susan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have that, and you rotate it open and have like 95 packs of like whatever baked goods you could have
From
the
an Easy Bake Oven?
Yeah.
Oh, you were spoiled. We only
I
had like
loved
2
it.
options and burned
Yeah, they were all
quarter of them all.
cardboard, so
Yeah, it was
I'm
a
not sure.
disaster.
What was your favorite thing then? Do you remember?
I think I like the brownies, but I used to do like, I would have so many, you could do like 6 layers of like the yellow cake, and they were like this thin.
She had a full kitchen, like Easy Bake Oven.
Seriously. They were like always immaculate. Your parents like, "The hell is going on?"
Oh my gosh, if they have them still, I thought I've looked a few years ago and I didn't think they did make them anymore, but if they do, I would for sure get one.
I'm sure Bezos has a cargo ship full of them, and we're just waiting for them to dock or something crazy.
Are they like antiques now? Is that weird to say? Like, are they worth a lot of money if you have one?
Probably.
Probably.
So
Wow.
I was just at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, and she pulled out this Mickey Mouse landline phone that was
my
literally a
God.
standalone landline phone.
Dude, so much
I
money.
looked it up, wasn't worth anything, but it just made me think of like how these old antique things that we never would have thought of are
Yeah.
now collector's items. So I wonder if an Easy Bake Oven would be.
Do you guys remember like Shrink-a-Dinks?
Yes.
That was like the same type of idea, right? You draw on the piece of plastic, put it in, and come out like that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, those like I had those lined up at my house, like Easy Bake Oven, Shrink-a-Dink, and just let it fly.
So I wonder if they do make something similar nowadays.
They
You would
have
probably
to.
know about it.
I swear I looked up Easy Bake Oven a few years ago because I got excited, like someone was talking about it. I was like, I want one. And I swear they did not have them.
I wonder
have
if there
to
was
look.
something like wrong that the
Oh, I'm
chemicals
sure
or
there was
something that
something
you were
happening in
pouring
there,
into
yeah.
It was
this.
a massive carcinogen.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
shoving it in with a plastic thing, number one, into a
Right.
hot metal
Yeah.
weird thing.
Yeah.
Probably
I-
kids got burned. There was a whole lawsuit,
for
and then they
sure.
just took it off the shelf.
Yeah, I'd rather go camp in Chernobyl. It's probably safer.
True. That's wild.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
So what's kind of, it's not like what's next, but you have your niche in the village, which is awesome. So now it's really the community aspect that I feel that you've picked up on in the last year, between you're raising money for different causes. So we should probably speak on that. And
Yeah.
then we talked about, right before we went live, they're trying to build a brand new skate park in Hamburg,
Oh
which
yeah.
for a lot of my friends growing up, that's a huge deal because the original skate park was right next to town hall and the police, which made like absolutely no sense because when we were skating back in the day, it was always like anti-cop, and
Yep.
then we all became like criminal majors and wanted to be cops, but that's fine, neither here nor there.
Subliminally.
Then they moved it. They moved that same skate park, all the equipment, like all the ramps, everything, to 5 by where FedEx is now and like where Tony's
Yeah.
is. That's where it is now. And like no one goes there.
That's what I'm saying. That's definitely the one then that they're redoing.
They're trying to upgrade.
Yeah.
So would it be there?
No, so it's a totally new location, and I know where it is, but I like can
Try to
visually
explain
see
it.
it. I cannot tell you street names
Okay.
because I'm horrible. It's like it's like off a road that's pretty busy, not like too busy where it's like scary for your
This
kids.
is
It's
going to
like
be perfect.
Yeah, no,
fenced
seriously.
in.
I can tell everybody's like, oh, I know exactly what she's talking about.
There's a road
There's
on
like-
the ground. There's maybe a tree, couple bushes. I think there's a giant
There's
lake.
definitely like a tree line in the back. There's a fence where the road is, and you like turn off. It's a main road. I've watched him explain this. It's a main road, and you take like a left or right off of it, and then you go, and it's like this
Left
huge
or
open
right
Derek's
field.
going to have a
Is it
stroke.
in the village or is it outside of the village?
No, it's outside the
Okay.
village, but it's somewhere very close.
Okay,
It
we'll
can't
try to
be
figure
like
it out.
10
it's
minutes
within
away.
New York.
If they're watching this, they'd be very angry at me because I told you I have asked so many times. They tell me every time, and I cannot remember street names.
What a riot.
So it's outside of the village. We'll find it and we'll put it in the description. But like,
Yes.
how are you helping them?
Well, they have like I don't know, I'm pointing, the cameras aren't moving, but they have like these little skateboard things that have like donations. So people come in and they'll donate like with their money. Some people come in just to donate for that because they're like, oh, like I'm a skateboarder. My kid likes skateboarding.
Yeah.
This would be cool to have a nice new park and everything.
Yeah.
So we have that. We have like their stickers out. We donated and like we just help like share it all the time on their page, and they have a pretty big following on Instagram, I think, too, and Facebook. But they're a huge family, and they're local business owners too, and it's just they're great people.
We should have them on.
Cool. Yeah, I miss skateboarding so much.
I do as well. Like my soul does, but my knees don't. You know,
Yeah.
it's one of those where it's just like, hey, like we need to talk about this.
My knees are already ready to retire.
Yes.
They're just like, all right, we're on the verge. We're done.
Yeah, my back is just like, get off the board. Get off the board.
Go off.
If you hit one rock, you're never going to stand back up.
Do they have a way to donate like on the site, on their website and stuff like that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think there's I'm pretty sure there's like a whole Facebook like page for them where you can donate like right through there.
Okay.
It's called Hamburg Skateboard Project, and it's pretty big, but I can show you guys.
Yeah, we'll
this
put the
stuff
link in the
after,
description for anybody that wants to donate.
And then what's the other community work that you're doing for like raising money and things and awareness?
So we did one for Thanksgiving or all of November, and it was a bunch of my friends. We had our faces up there, and we did like a pie for charity thing. So we all chose a different charity that meant something to us in our lives, and then we set little jars, and people came in throughout the whole month of November to throw money
Donate.
in. Yeah, and if basically whoever raises the most gets a pie in the face, but also if people donated $50, they can throw the pie at
cool.
whoever they did. $10 was something free from the case, and $1 is a high five, but you can just do whatever in there.
What was the charity that it donated to?
It was like 8 different charities we
Oh,
all
cool.
chose. Mine was Icing Smiles. There's like SPCA.
Icing and Smiles?
Icing Smiles.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I probably said that really
No,
fast.
it's fine.
It's like this nonprofit that people can sign up for, like whether they're a business, like a bakery, or just individual. And then like kids with critical illness, they can have like 2 cakes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like a large like specialty cake, and then like they just reach out to people in the area. It's like it's worldwide, but they reach out to people in the area and like, hey, can you do this? This is the kid, all of the information, and then we just do it out of our pocket.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun. I've done it for I think like almost 5 years now or more. Yeah, it's fun.
Wow.
Jeez. So that was all the month of November. Do you have plans to do that for other months? Or is it just kind of like I'll do what I can?
I kind of liked it. I'm
Yeah.
probably not the pie one, but I was thinking for December. That's tomorrow, I think.
Yeah,
Wild,
which is
right?
Is it?
insane.
Yeah, right. I don't know how it's already December, but I was thinking of doing just like a bin for like canned goods. I think that's a popular thing that people do, or toys. I might do because I know toy drives for Christmas. But there's so many different people in the businesses that do all these different donations, like whether it be through like virtual or like in the shop. Like there's so many things happening, so you can go to like any place and they're doing something, so it's cool.
Nice. So how has the town been over the past year since we've talked last?
I would say good. It definitely has been like a lot of ups and downs, but
Regarding what?
just like the time we're in right now, like with everything
Yeah,
happening.
Sure.
So like there's like it's been like huge community though, like even through the tough parts, like all the communities have been like sticking together, and like all the different businesses, especially like restaurants, have been like helping each other just by like supporting each other, like buying like dinner or baked goods or stuff from them. So like shopping local, same with boutiques and all that. I think it's good. It was definitely nice to see like when events were happening back again during like a little bit of the summer, and like just like even a few weeks ago, like seeing like the actual community come together and do all that type of stuff was really cool, like this year versus last year.
It makes me happy, but that's also why the village is what the village is, right? Because
exactly.
that's what it's all about. People from Rise Fitness come and buy buns here. It's just like, isn't this counterintuitive? It's like,
I honestly love it because we get so many people, whether they're walking at the ridge and like they'll come like sweaty, like, and they're like, I'm like, what hell did you do today? And like, I just know like everyone, I have like a decent amount of people I know, like regulars, which are super fun because like they will come right from workout, and I'm like, way to get it in right before you go.
What is like a good seller just to come in and grab and then leave?
Cinnamon bun?
Definitely people with cinnamon buns. Peanut butter stuffed cookies, when we do those, people love those.
So do you have the cinnamon bun just like in the case? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I straight up walked in, bought one, heated it up in the microwave, ate it with a fork, and then started doing dishes.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
It was the greatest
So that's
experience.
what people do, is they just come in and grab one and then do the dishes after?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
They'll sweep a little too high.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously somebody who's going to show me up. I'm sure somebody Windex and vacuumed, but that's why I get to come back.
So the cinnamon bun is like still one of your best sellers.
Yeah.
Out of everything that you have in your case, if someone was to walk in and let's say they're not a cinnamon bun person, first of all, if you're not a cinnamon bun person, turn this off right now. But,
You're not welcome here.
Yeah. What else would you recommend they come in and grab?
Definitely, I always go for fruit pizza because it's just like people from the look of it kind of looks like heavy and like it could be weird, but honestly we've had so many people will recommend it and they're like okay, and then they'll like walk out the door and like 2 minutes later they already have finished that piece and they come back in and are like, all right, we need 2 more slices. So like people love it, so that's definitely like a good one. But if some people don't like fruit, so then I usually just send them to more like the cupcake area, or if we have our apple caramel crumb bars, those are very popular.
How are you doing with the other communities in regards to being inclusive for all? So like vegan, gluten-free, things like that?
I am not vegan. The only time I do a vegan thing was Thanksgiving. It's a vegan, plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free pie. I think you guys had that. But that's the only thing vegan I do. I do sometimes egg-free is hard for me, but sometimes I can manage it if they can eat cooked eggs but not the frosting. But mostly I am good with doing gluten-free specialty orders or sometimes dairy-free specialty orders. Those are like the two I stick to.
Yeah.
How do you not use egg?
So it's just different icing because my icing I use is primarily egg white based. So then I just use traditional icing, which is just
Sugar?
powdered sugar, butter, milk. And that's
So,
that.
but you still put the egg in the sponge, right?
Yeah, if I
Chill
do,
out.
Coming toward you, Mike. Coming for you.
I do have to put it in the egg, but in the cake. But some people can have the cooked egg. If they can't have eggs at all, like vegans, then I just tell them I can't do it because I don't have a good egg-free cake recipe. And
Is there even one? Like a good egg-free cake? Maybe good subjective. But.
Probably if you can't have it, it's probably good. I used to have one and I don't know where it went, so I just don't do that.
Well, do you remember what you substitute then for the egg?
Sometimes
I'm always so interested in that.
I think it's like applesauce. That could be for something else though, because maybe that's instead of oil. No. See, my brain is like if you could be in here, it's like you don't want to be in here. But it's
a SpongeBob episode.
Yeah.
What's his name? Everything's on fire. I can't find his name.
Literally. But there are two places I always refer for vegan people because I found actually two in the area. One just opened up, I think, 2 weeks ago, and she's in West Seneca, and then there's another one in Lancaster who's been the one I've been referring to, a long weekend bake shop.
Oh, okay.
So
that always fascinates me, those type of like substitutions. They have to be the most creative people in the world. Like, how do I find a substitution for eggs in baking?
Right?
It just seems like an impossible task.
Yeah, that's
if
why.
If it's really applesauce, I'd be super impressed, first of all, that you knew that off the top of your head. Second of all, still no idea how that works. So we're still back at square one.
And maybe it's like more of like they have to like substitute with one of the dry, like maybe they use different self like rising flour or something like that. But I don't know. Like I also am in amazement of people who can, because like I learned this in like college, and like my brain can barely remember like 2 days ago. So the fact that like it just amazes me that people like can do this stuff. Like I'm like, oh wow.
So do they teach that stuff in college? I'm sure it's probably more prevalent now, right?
I'm sure that if they don't like teach that more like in depth now, I'd be shocked, because it's like a huge, like everywhere you go you can get all that stuff now basically. But when I was there, we had like just like, oh, if you didn't have like eggs or something, you still need to make a cake. It was like real brushed over, but the more I looked at it was
great direction, boss. All right, next. If you need eggs, you still need to make the cake. But anyway.
It's just such an old school mentality of like, well, I have a gluten allergy, and it's like, then you're not a baker. Like, choose another career. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like old school Russian cartoons. It's like, it's so direct to the point. It's like, move on.
It's like, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, they have to probably teach that now. It has to be a whole section.
It has to be, but if not, like where I really like saw it was like bloggers, because they'd be like, I can't eat this, so I just messed around the kitchen for like, you know how they write those like 90 pages and then you just skip to the recipe and like read what happened.
That's the worst. I was making something the other day, and it's like, you want to know how to make mashed potatoes? Well, I grew up on a small farm down in Wyoming, and it's like, dude, I don't care. Just tell me the recipe.
We started growing Yukon Gold.
Exactly. It's just like, come on, man.
I know.
I don't get it.
They really just ramble. But I mean, like, I'm also not a blogger. Maybe that's just what gives them life. I don't know.
I feel like you'd be good at that, though.
Thanks.
Like being a blogger and talking about your experience baking stuff.
I feel like she needs the computer software, though, where she just talks and it types for her.
Yes.
Because then she would just go on these epic rants, and the blogger audience could read it and be like,
I don't think the internet can hold that much information.
Correct. Like, what is going on here?
I think both of you are correct in that. Yeah, just ask any of my friends when I'm talking. It's just like, boop, 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 boop. Where did I start? I don't know. Oh, that'd be fun, though.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that.
And then we also have to talk about your VIP third phone endeavor.
Situation.
Yeah, because you wanted to be Kevin Gates, and then you're like, nah, I'm skipping 2 and going right to 3. So how did that thing start? Was that a recommendation from somebody? Were you bored one day?
Yeah, just do. No, so this guy...
Is that how that went?
Yeah. I know, I'm very
I'll have to remember that. Yeah.
Title of the episode.
Connor, this guy named Connor came in one day, and he had this thing, and he was like, hey, I have this company that we're starting. It's called Favor Drop. And at first, it's actually very funny. I thought it was Flavor Drop at first, which made so much sense because like restaurant based, and it's to help like push people in on your slow days. So it was like cool to like see like, oh, maybe it'd be good here for our slower days to like help send people. So they like tested it out all summer. It's like Hamburg based right now, but they're trying to get it into other like towns and stuff, but it's mostly Hamburg villages that are like starting it while they're figuring out all the kinks and stuff. So it's kind of cool because we're like base level in with them, and like we're seeing like how it's like helping us, and they're getting their own data off of it. And it's cool because you can like a bunch of the businesses like Butera's, Fatty's, Main Street, Juicy, Carte Blanche, us, we're all part of like the thing. And you just go and scan it, and then like you become like one of the VIP like things, and they send you like, here's a dollar amount off today if you come in between this. And it's also meant to like, it's I forget which app, I don't even know what it's like, but you like if you wanted to grab drinks with him at, let's say, Alchemy, because they're on it too, you'd be like, I want you to come within like these 2 hours, though. You'd send it like, here's $5 to come meet me for a drink after work at Alchemy, but you have to use it between like 6 and 8 p.m. because that's when you want him to come. And then if he was like, oh sweet, just gotta work, and like drove over there, then he'd get $5 off that you gave him. And you can also like pay like you can, it's like a digital gift card, so you don't have to like worry about losing it. So like, let's say for Christmas you wanted to give everyone in your family like $25 to all these businesses that are on there, you could just like send it through them. The cool thing is let's say like you don't use it from him after the expiration date, so let's say you do like 6 months, he still didn't use it, the money goes right back to you instead of just like never seeing it
gets
again.
lost.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I was actually just looking at a gift card, and I'm like, does it really expire? Because then the money's gone. That's dumb. But that's really sweet that they do that. We should have them on when they're
Yes,
interested.
you should. They're super good. They're super great guys. They're funny.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting process. So is there anything that you have to do being a business owner in that process that is like, do you have to coordinate with other businesses to make sure that you're not running the same deals or similar deals that they are? Now it's just whenever you feel like it?
Yep, so basically it's like whatever makes sense for me. So mine's more like between $1 and $3 because like you could come in and use it and like just get something for free basically, or you can spend that, get off your total and then like still buy more. So but like Juicy Burger, I know that people like their deals could be like $10 to $15 because like you can go and get a burger and stuff with a better discount versus like $3 there. So it's cool because each place, like all the different businesses, it's all different ranges of money because it's just whatever works for them or whatever they want to give out that day. So like honestly, one day I could be like, oh, I'm feeling great, here's $20 to come in if you want to come in today. But really all I have to do is create my little like messages that they send out for me, and like just when people sign up, they just like can click the buttons and send them out to me, or send them out on the days I want them.
So this might be a better question for them, but are you able to like opt in and opt out of certain businesses? Like if I sign up, am I going to get a text every day from every business that's a part of this?
No, so you like on the thing there's a QR code. If you wanted it from, so let's say you did want it from our business, you'd scan all their codes, so you'd be part of it. But they like watch to see what days and who they send it out to and like who uses it.
Gotcha.
So like he'll like, let's say, because mine are usually like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays and Sundays. So he'll like send them out to like 20 people out of the like 100 on Tuesday, a different 20 on Wednesday, and then like he'll calculate it so then next week the same people don't get the same day, same time, all that stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it like rotates through. They like have this whole thing figured out. I'm like, here's the message. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, really. Way above. Way above. I
It
would
would
say all
definitely
of
be
us.
an interesting thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially
Sounds
like right
great.
now, they're like on a cool level to like hear about.
Yeah, because if they're just starting, they're only in Hamburg, you said, right now?
Yeah,
for the most part?
they're, yep. I don't think they've moved out of Hamburg yet, but I think they're still just in Hamburg. But yeah,
People got some crazy ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know how they.
To be fair, you don't have to bribe me. You can just text me and just be like, "Hey, you want a drink?"
Yeah.
But it is
or,
kind of
hey,
cool.
you want a cinnamon roll? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Correct. Correct. That's not even worth the text. You just know the answer is yes and just arrive with it. Yeah, that's an upfront decision that you make. But yeah, it's neat. I like that. No pun intended. In regards to our podcast.
Neat.
That's right. That's right. I like it. So I have a very interesting question for you.
All right.
Would you ever repaint?
He's saying he doesn't like the
I was
color.
gonna say, like,
No.
what
I
does
do,
he not like
but
here?
I don't know because you like having a certain vibe. So I didn't
Yes.
know if you ever reached a point where you just walked in one day and you're like, I just can't do it anymore.
Honestly, no, because I was very particular when choosing everything for the first time.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I had my favorite color, which was not this originally, and I painted them all on that wall because it was like daylight, dark, or don't know what I just said, daytime and nighttime, like to see the vibe. And I was like, no. So the one I thought I was gonna love, I hated the most, and then this one was the best. And I just like,
Is this
it's so calming.
like a purple? Like a light purple? Or
Yeah,
is it just
so
I'm
this
seeing
is
things?
purple, and then this is like a lighter gray, purple, white thing, and then has the dark gray, like
I love
flowers.
you. You're hilarious.
Thanks.
The lighter gray, purple, white thing.
But yeah,
cool.
no, I definitely like it. It's very calming to me. I like the colors. It's like, that's why I thought about too. I was like, you're gonna sit here every day. So like, originally, do you want to hear the original plans for this place?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish I did the floors differently, but the floors were gonna be like, like mall floors, like where they're like shiny and like they're cool colors. It was gonna be that like floor, but like super bright, like aqua blue, like oceany blue. And then it was gonna be like the walls were gonna be like a Starry Night vibe. So it was gonna be like a bunch of blues and yellows and stuff.
It would have been a lot.
It was gonna be a lot, so I had to calm my brain down a lot for that. But that was gonna be the vibe, says like what I was feeling like energy wise. Like I just love that painting way too much.
So it was
Starry Night.
It's okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was like, where's the inspo from that?
Did you go to the Van Gogh exhibit?
Yes, I did.
Was it cool?
Yes, it was. It was amazing. I loved every second of it.
Are you a big fan of him or just that
Yes,
painting?
no, I love him.
Okay.
I love him.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and on the actual back wall of this, which is like what helped spark it when I got the building, someone painted it's like a Starry Night rendition, like, scene on the back of this building.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I was like, wow, that just is perfect. When I was looking at the place, and I was like, wow, now I can tie it in. It was going to be like the Starry Night up on the ceiling, so when people walked in, it was like all like crazy, and then the walls are going to be like that deeper yellow and like the crazy floor. But there was like a lot going on, so
a lot.
Calm that down.
I like that.
What's the flooring right now? Just concrete?
Yeah, I think it's like painted concrete.
I'm waiting for subtle Disney to arrive throughout this place.
All right, I can make it happen.
It's gonna happen.
Like, I feel like with this color, we can do like Rapunzel Tangled vibes. Like, just start painting all the lanterns.
And then she looks out from her window and then sees the wood line, which ties in the leaves.
And we'll have like her little oh my gosh, what's his little name? The little gecko guy.
Was it a frog?
It's not a
Was it-
what are the ones that changed colors?
Chameleon.
I think it's a chameleon. He's like a little guy, or it's an iguana or something. I don't know the difference, but you can have a whole little cinnamon bun.
There you go.
There you go.
His little paws.
I'm not a Disney person, but I can see the reference.
Yeah, that's
I
why he was
can't-
late.
All right.
That's why.
All right.
Yeah.
We had to get our Disney combo out of the way.
So we are obviously here on close to the year anniversary. We'll probably come back next year during the same time. What do you want to accomplish between now and then? Is it more just kind of staying the course and not trying to drown, or do you have specific visions?
Like, no more news. I need a break, people.
Yeah. That's a good question. I honestly think this to myself at random times in the day, like, what do you see yourself doing?
Trying sweets for the first time since you don't like them. It's so strange.
No. More food.
She doesn't like sweets.
I know, we talked about that last time. It's wild.
It is.
Makes no sense.
That's a really good question. Very tough. I would say maybe, like, definitely staying, like, alive. That's always the goal.
Goal number one.
But I definitely say, like, maybe trying to figure out how to swing, like, the slow days, because back to your question earlier about like having the perishable stuff, that's definitely like the hardest struggle for me, is like on the days where it's slow, it's like, what do you do with all this stuff? And it's like, it's just stressful, and like that's what annoys me more, is like how I can't, there's just like no rhyme or reason. One Tuesday could be slow and like 2 people come in, the next Tuesday you could have sell out. It's like there's no rhyme or reason.
So if slow, call Buffalo Happy Hour. That's it.
Perfect. I'll put that in there.
Perfect. I have zero idea if this is even possible, but are you able to expand this building at all? Like, are you able to build up or build sideways or anything like that?
So we have talked about things with my landlord, and there's different ways you can. So we can expand up. That was like before we even like leased it and stuff. We asked that too, just in case. So yeah, you can expand up, and if we expand it up, I have like a vision of just like putting more like a spirally staircase outside and more like seating upstairs. So still just keeping it like more, and like maybe just making it more production down here to put more like case like stuff in there. But we'll see. I don't know. That's like if we do that. But there's also possibilities of moving like sideways, kind of, because he does own like these 2 things, but there's tenants in them right now. So
so it's a house next door.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
this one's for sale too. You can just buy it. And
I know.
Right next
So
door
look
to
at
it.
I know.
Buy the whole block.
Exactly. We'll just go.
I own this now.
It's just Haak Street now. It's Haak Street.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be like Allen level right there. But yeah, if we went like this way, if like everything works out or for some reason, and like it'd be like a lot more my vibe, I feel, because like actually through this door, it like used to be, this all used to be like connected, but now since 2 different people live there and like we're a business, like nothing's connected anymore. But I feel like we could just knock that down and go back through there, and that'd be kind of cool because it's much more of a unique, weird vibe, which fits very well into my mold.
And that would solve the fact that you would be able to expand, but you would also be able to stay here.
Yeah.
But grow.
Exactly. Yeah. It'd be cool because then, like, it'd be seeing inside. This could just straight up go to production, and then, like, counter space and, like, maybe, like, some shop stuff and, like, room for more classes, which would be nice, and, like, have live music, which I've always wanted to do.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Room for
that.
more classes?
Yeah, like cake classes and stuff like that. I used to do them all the time, but then like with everything happening, I just don't have room in here. So sometimes if I'm available, I can go like to a place if they like want me to do like for a kid's birthday or just like a class, and then I just bring everything they need and we just do it there for the hour, and then that's that.
Yeah, that's cool. Because honestly, all joking aside, we say like you only have you to help make all this stuff, but there's really not room for another person here. So how many people can you even have here at the same time helping you?
It gets pretty tight. I think the max we've had probably was like 5 to 6 back there, and that's like just like once everything's made and like everyone's just working to get stuff like out to the people. That's like max, and even with that, it's like crammed back there.
Yeah.
But I would say like on like our busy days when we like close the for like events and stuff, we'll close the driveway off and like have stuff out there. So that's when it's easier, because then you have like half the people out there and like still 2 or 3 people back there, but it's still a lot.
Yeah, it's cool.
You're doing a really good job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we love it.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't come to Haak's Cakes yet, you have to, and try their cinnamon bun. We talk about it all the time, but it is seriously the best thing in the entire world.
Agreed.
You guys are very kind.
Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to? Oh, Instagram, social media, and all that stuff. Where can people find you?
Haak's Cakes, at Haak's Cakes on Instagram.
Can you spell it?
HAAKSCAKES. Double A with the
Love it.
Haak's. People always get thrown off when I spell that. But that's Instagram. Haak's Cakes on Facebook is just Haak's Cakes. And then I think that's all my social media.
We probably talked about this before, but do you have a website or anything, or how do people order something from you?
Website you cannot order off of, but I do have a website. It's just like a janky little Google website, so it like just has like updates on it. It's not really like the cool ones. Hopefully that's a good thing. I'm gonna try to do something that after January, like where people can see how many cakes I can take still in the week, and how to like some way to order like simple ones online with enough time, because that's been a struggle for me to like keep everyone updated on my calendar, and like some days it's busy, some days it's not. So that's definitely a goal I have set for myself that I've talked to my friends about, to try to figure out something like that. But other than that, you just type in Haak's Cakes on Google, and then the website button is there.
And then could people order through your Instagram and Facebook, or do you prefer them call you?
They can call. I take everything really besides email. Just don't email me.
Okay.
Instagram message, Facebook message, texting, calling, or coming in.
Cool.
I do all that, yeah.
I love it.
Crushing it.
Killing it.
Well, thank you for your time. We really
Thank you guys
appreciate
for
it. It's
coming
great
back
coming
again.
and catching up.
Yeah, I know. You guys are so fun.
And congrats on the progress that you made in a year. It's really sweet.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. Go check her out and get anything from here, because you will love it all. So,
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.